The Royal Australian Navy operates a powerful modern naval force. Australia's vast natural wealth and rich population has allowed the evolution of the Australian Navy from a small British-controlled patrol force in the early 1900s to a strong, modern, and well-sized force today. Australia's population at 25 million people is small compared to China's 1,400 million people, and the United States' 329 million. This small population limits the Australian Navy's personnel numbers, and therefore its size. Australia's geopolitical situation is based around maritime trade. Its natural resources are shipped to the massive Asian markets. Since World War II, the Australian foreign policy has been based around its alliance with the United States. This is because after the British were forced out of the Pacific by the Japanese, Australia realized that they couldn't rely on the UK for defense. The US would then save Australia in the Battle of the Coral Sea, and together they would fight the Japanese out of the South Pacific. Since then, Australia has supported the US in its wars around the world in order to guarantee the security of Australia's maritime trade. They've allied themselves with the US and its powerful navy. The Australian Navy operates a large range of warships, from submarines to replenishment ships. The Royal Australian Navy operates two landing helicopter docks. They are called the Canberra class and act as amphibious landing ships. They can carry up to 8 to 18 helicopters. The ship's large deck allows them to fly off to conduct aerial assaults, replenish, transport, and search and rescue missions. The ships have underwater hangars and can launch landing ships. They can carry hundreds of troops, tanks, and trucks to conduct naval invasions, but they can also carry large amounts of supplies to natural disaster-affected areas. The two ships' names are the Canberra and the Adelaide, commissioned in 2014 to 2015. The ships are based on the Spanish Juan Carlos amphibious assault ship, and both vessels were constructed in Spain. The Royal Australian Navy operates three landing replenishment ships. The HMS Shoals is a landing dock and was acquired from the Royal Navy and commissioned in 2011. The ship is primarily a transport ship and has provided disaster relief evacuation support in its service lifetime. The supply class oiler ships HMS Supply and HMS Salwat are replenishment ships. They are deployed in large fleets to refuel the ships at sea. Both ships were commissioned in 2021 and were built in Spain. The RAN operates three air warfare destroyers called the Hobart class. Their names are the HMS Hobart, HMS Brisbane, and the HMS Sydney. These ships are the most powerful surface combatant ships of the Australian Navy. They are based on the Spanish Avro D Basin class frigates, but the Australian ships are considerably better equipped. The Hobart class ships were commissioned in 2017 to 2022. The ships are designed primarily to be air defense ships with the capability to track and shoot down aircraft and missiles, but they can also launch anti-ship and anti-ground missiles. These ships have a 127mm cannon, Phase-X autocannons, along with other secondary weapons. The Australian Navy also operates 8 Anzac-class frigates. The ships were commissioned from 1996 and 2006. Two more frigates were built for the New Zealand Navy. The ships have less combat capabilities than the Hobart class and are not exactly frontline warships, but they can be used as merchant patrol and security ships. Some of the ships have been used as gun platforms during the 2003 Iraq War. These ships are set to be replaced in about 10 years' time by the Hunter-class frigate. The Royal Australian Navy operates 6 conventional submarines, called the Collins class. The subs were commissioned from 1996 to 2003. The submarines were designed and built in Australia, but this did bring problems, as the Australian shipyards had never built submarines before. The ships had a lot of combat capability, but are flawed in technical problems. The RAN is also struggling to crew these ships. The Collins class will get a life extension upgrade soon, and will hopefully be replaced by nuclear submarines sometime after that.
The last of the Royal Australian Navy ships comes in the form of patrol ships. They operate 9 Armidale-class patrol ships, 6 Hulun-class mine countermeasure ships, and 4 Cape-class patrol ships. The patrol ships are meant to patrol coastal waters and stop illegal fishing, drug trade, smuggling, and illegal immigration. These ships have almost no combat capability and shouldn't operate in stormy weather. The mine countermeasure ships are designed to hunt and destroy mines and help with water protection. The Royal Australian Navy operates a range of ships, and many of its older ones are set to be replaced in the future. The RAN is extremely important as it conducts border protection roles, maritime patrol, air defense, and naval combat.